be, the arguments wouldn't be more, so to speak. It would be like the same arguments that have been already told to people, that are already out there. But I saw also one fear. There was one fear for me when I thought about it, when I talked to them. And one thing that I see as the risk for the future is that there will be better ways to make false videos and false pictures and false audio and stuff like that. So there will be I think there will be false videos and statements by those who are very, very good technically in the future. So they will make just false statements for people.
Yeah, I think that's probably not so much a problem for this, for events that are so far in the past, because if they can't really make historical things and make people in the past say things, because if that video existed, it would have come out before. So, if all of a sudden a video comes out of Bush and Cheney in the war room discussing 9/11, then people are going to know that that's a fake, and also people are going to know that's a fake because there'll be thousands and thousands of fakes then, and no one will be trusting video at all. So I don't really see that as a problem for the 9/11 conspiracies.
Yeah, I am a little worried myself, but okay.
It will. I think there will be a period of time before people get used to it, and before measures are put in place for better verification of videos. That there will be a lot of confusion. Already there are the deep fakes where they put faces on people's bodies that aren't theirs, or do lip syncs with models. There's it's going to get very good, but people are going to understand that type of thing can happen. There's a Roy Orbison concert right now, and Roy Orbison, the singer, he died 20 years ago or something.
Yeah,
but he's on tour right now.
Oh, okay.
And they're actually using a hologram of him, which uses a computer-generated model of him, and a motion capture actor, and some remastered versions of his original songs. So for the audience, it looks exactly like he's up on stage, and you can move around and interact with the other performers on the stage, because it's there's a guy in a motion capture suit.
Nice.
So but people will start to understand that what they are seeing isn't necessarily real. So I think they will understand that these deep fakes are very possible. When people see very realistic video of flying saucers now, you can see these videos that look like there's a flying saucer flying around the Eiffel Tower. But people know that can be done because they've seen videos of, they've seen movies where that type of thing happens.
It's very good that you said that you're very, a positive. You put a positive spin on things. That's good.
Yeah. My dog's barking. I'll shut the door.
Okay. Yeah, that's good that you do that to make it more positive.
One more thing I was going to say, you mentioned what will happen to 9/11 in terms of the conspiracy theory. I think what will happen is that it will become like the JFK conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think there'll be kind of like a widespread belief that something happened that was a conspiracy amongst a significant portion of the population, and I think that's going to continue. But I think most people will not really look into it because it's so far in the past. They're not really bothered about it, and they think maybe there was something suspicious, maybe not. And if you survey people, you're probably going to get 10% of people say maybe it was an inside job. But with JFK, what you have now is people who are a small group of people who are super obsessed with JFK, and they read loads and loads of books about it, and they study the Zapruder film, and they write about it, and they join the groups. And then you're going to have the vast majority of people who really don't care. They're not going to be interested in JFK. And that's what's going to happen with 9/11. It's going to recede into the past. You're going to continue for probably the next 100 years to have people who are super interested in it. But most people will just not care about it.
Yeah, I think so also.
Yeah, we're going to get to that stage, and I think on the way there, there's a lot of people who will fall for the conspiracy theory, and we can help reduce that number of people who are falling for the conspiracy theory and increase the rate at which people get out of the conspiracy theory.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, I have a page and a group or two groups, two Facebook groups and one page on Facebook and a blog. So I'm trying in that sense. But
yeah, that's great.
But I'm not as good as you, of course. I'm not much compared to you, of course. But
everyone can focus on individual things, right. And I think you don't want to spread yourself too thin and try to cover everything. When I do things, I try to focus on one, like this thing with the angle cut column. That took me like 3 days of solid work, looking at every single photograph of the 9/11 debris pile and figuring out where the column was. And it's focused work like that gets things done. You can't just do superficial things and just look something up and post a 2-minute debunk. I think if you want to help more people, it's best to try to create an explanation that will stand the test of time, that can be used again and again, and not just waste time doing throwaway explanations in the middle of a Facebook thread.
Right.
You might be helping one individual, but you could still help them, but spend a bit more time and help 10 or 100 other people, or even help 1,000 other people by actually taking the work you're doing there and putting it into a findable format somewhere on a website.
Sure. I found that a blog is actually very, very useful in the Facebook discussions, because once you have done this for several years, you notice that some themes are coming up again and again.
Yeah.
So you will you can have something prepared on the blog. So when they are talking about the cameras at the Pentagon, you already have like a blog post about that, and you can just refer to the blog post, and it's super convenient. So
yeah, exactly. And
it's
you can
sort of
update
like your
that post.
Yeah, it's sort of like your forum there.
Yeah, and that's what I do with the Metabunk stuff. It's not just like a discussion thread. What I do is I try to distill the information in the thread. A lot of the times, then I will edit the top post and put all the relevant information in the top, because no one, if something comes up in a search result, they want to have the information straight away. They're not going to read the whole thread, and they're certainly not going to read past the first page. You can get maybe like 0.1% of people will read past the first page of a thread, so it's utterly pointless adding useful debunks to something at the end of a thread when you need to be adding it at the start of the thread. And blog posts are great for that, because in a blog you have the main post and then you have comments, so you can always edit the main post and keep it up to date and keep it relevant. Yeah. And I would recommend people use like free sites like WordPress. WordPress.com or Blogger, because they will stay around for a long time. A lot of these sites where people make their own website, they disappear after a few years just because they don't want to keep paying for it, or they lose interest. But if you do it on something like WordPress or Blogger, it will stay there, hopefully forever. And if not forever, it will be there on the Internet Archive, or it can be easily copied somewhere else.
Right, good point. I'm using the Blogger actually, so I have a correct pointer. But
well, if you look, one of the oldest 9/11 blogs is I think it's called 911blogs.blogspot.com or something like that. So it's an actual thing on Blogspot, or it might be blogger.com now. But it's a blog that basically is where architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth came from. And it's still there because they just did it on a free site like Blogspot. So that's what you want to do if you want to have your blogs last a long time. Put them on a free site.
Yeah. I was also thinking, Are you the one that has 9/11 debunking 9/11, or is that someone else?
No, I just have Metabunk and Contrail Science.
Okay.
Yeah, the only sites I run.
Okay, because 9/11 myths and debunking 9/11, those are the ones that are most those are the ones that are most sort of hated by the truthers. So
Yeah.
it's often good if you can have something that they can see that is not maybe like CNN or something like that, or these two sites, something other that they can more feel like they can look at without having some kind of already made up mind about. So that's why it's good that you have another forum where you go very much into detail about the different stuff.
Of course, like lots of people think that Metabunk is disinformation now. Like I think inevitably any site that's a debunking site that explains things as they really are, you're going to get people saying that it's disinformation.
Of course,
it's good sometimes to. Like another thing I do is try to make these little images that contain the information in the image, like the one I just sent you with the angle cut column. It's got all the information there. It has the original picture, and it has the two pictures from AP with the numbers that people can look up. And you can take that one image and you can post it on Facebook. Whereas if you were to post the link to the Metabunk page, then they might not even look at it because it says Metabunk on the title. So
right.
Yeah, putting things in image form is a useful way of doing things. And the other thing with the two blocks that I did, like whenever someone brings up the cardboard box, I'll show them that. So having images to share is a useful thing. So make more of those.
Yeah, of course. It's like a meme almost.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like a meme. I wouldn't call it a meme. It's like an infographic.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying it's a meme, but it's almost like a meme. So it's in a format that people understands and can take in right away.
Yeah, and they can share it on Facebook or Twitter as an image rather than as a link to a website.
Yeah, it's very, very good. So your book was. Can you say the book name? I know it's about rabbit hole, but I forgot the full name.
It's called Escaping the Rabbit Hole, How to Debunk Conspiracy Theories Using Facts, Logic, and Respect.
Very, very good.
It's available. Comes out on Tuesday.
Okay.
Well,
very
Tuesday,
good.
September the 18th.
Yeah, I hope you get a big success with it.
Me too, thank you.
If you had come out with the book 1 week earlier, it would have been 9/11.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that. Maybe they had some other conspiracy theory books that they wanted to do at that time. But,
maybe it was a conspiracy.
I think also people don't want to be seen as capitalizing on 9/11. Respect for the dead. It's kind of a somber for most people who are not conspiracy theorists. Even conspiracy theorists themselves, obviously, they care about the people who died. And they will say that's the reason they're doing it. So nobody wants to disrespect the dead. And so using September 11th as an opportunity to try to sell your brand, I don't think is a good thing. So I didn't want it on September 11th.
Okay, did you say that actually?
I didn't say that, but I was glad that they didn't do it on September 11th. I was kind of expecting them to do it because they told me it would come out in September, and I thought, oh, is that because of September 11th? But it turns out they did it 1 week after, which is fine by me because I don't want to be seen as exploiting 9/11.
No, of course.
Just trying to explain it.
But your book, I mean, as I understand it, your book is not solely focused on 9/11. I mean, you have like every kind of conspiracy, right?
Yeah, there's four main conspiracies that I cover. I wanted to cover the whole spectrum because part of the book is explaining that all these conspiracy theories exist on a